His hand is on my face. His voice is gentle. You don't have to go back. And I'm standing in a stranger's kitchen at 2 a.m., wondering how I got here. 3 hours ago, I was in my own house, apologizing for existing. Now I'm wearing his sweatshirt, drinking his tea, and feeling safer than I have in years. He's my neighbor. I barely know his name. But when Tyler's fist went through the wall tonight, when I ran across the lawn with nothing but my phone and my fear, Ethan opened his door without hesitation. His rescue dog pressed against my legs like she knew, and now I don't know how to leave. Let me tell you how this started. I'd been staying at Ethan's for 17 days when I finally stopped flinching every time he came into the room. "Coffee?" he asked that morning, already pouring even though he knew I'd say yes. We'd fallen into this rhythm. He worked nights at the emergency vet clinic, came home around 7, made terrible coffee that I pretended to like. "Please." I pulled his borrowed hoodie tighter. Everything I owned was still across the lawn in the house I'd shared with Tyler for 3 years. Ethan set the mug in front of me, chipped blue ceramic. His knuckles were scratched from a cat who'd panicked during intake. "Toast? You don't have to keep feeding me." "I know." He started the toaster anyway. His German Shepherd mix, Bailey, was asleep at my feet. Let me back up. 3 weeks earlier. The rain started around 9. I was at my desk finishing a logo revision for a client when Tyler came home. His footsteps on the stairs were heavy. I saved my work. Muscle memory. Always save before he comes in angry. "Sophia, did you move my keys?" My stomach tightened. "They're probably by the door." "I checked by the door." His voice rose. "Jesus Christ, why do you always—" "I'll help you look." He was in the doorway, jaw tight. "Forget it. I'll be late because you can't keep track of simple shit. I'm going to Mike's." The front door slammed. I found his keys 10 minutes later on the kitchen counter where he'd left them. He came home around midnight, drunk. I was in bed, pretending to sleep. He turned on the light. "You awake?" I didn't answer. "I know you're awake, Soph. We need to talk about you being so fucking sensitive all the time." "Tyler, you're drunk. Let's talk tomorrow." "See? That, right there. Always trying to manage me." His voice rose. "Maybe if you weren't so goddamn uptight." "I'm not doing this tonight." I sat up. He stood fast enough that I flinched. "You're not doing this? I work 10-hour days while you sit at home?" "I work too." "Making pretty pictures isn't work." His hand slammed the dresser. I jumped. Bailey started barking from next door. "Tyler, please calm down." "Don't tell me to calm down." His fist went through the drywall next to the closet, just punched straight through. Everything went quiet except Bailey's barking and my pulse in my ears. Tyler looked at his hand, at the hole, at me. "Fuck. Sophia, I didn't mean—" I was already moving, grabbed my phone, slipped past him, down the stairs. His voice followed. "Babe, come on, don't be dramatic." I ran. Outside, the rain was cold. I stood on the driveway in my sleep shorts and tank top, barefoot, shaking. My car was in the garage, behind Tyler. Bailey was at Ethan's fence, still barking. The porch light flickered on. I ran across the wet grass to his gate. Bailey pressed against my legs, whining. The front door opened. Ethan stood there in scrub pants and a t-shirt. He looked at me, rain-soaked, shaking, barefoot, and his expression shifted from confused to concerned immediately. "Sophia?" "I'm sorry," I started, voice cracking. "I didn't know where else—" "Come on in." He stepped aside. "Bailey, heel." I stood dripping on his doormat. "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have—" "You're barefoot in the rain. Let me get you a towel." He came back with a towel and a sweatshirt. "Bathroom's down the hall if you want to change. I'll make tea." When I came out, he was at the stove, kettle heating. Bailey had claimed the spot at my feet. "She doesn't usually take to people this fast," Ethan said, not looking at me, giving me privacy to breathe. I sat at his kitchen table. The window faced my house. Tyler's truck was still there, bedroom white still on. Ethan set a mug in front of me, sat across from me, didn't ask questions, just waited. He punched a wall right next to my head, and I ran. Good, that was the right thing to do. I don't know what to do now. Right now, you drink tea and breathe. Tomorrow, we figure out the rest. You can stay here tonight. Guest room's clean, door locks from inside. I looked at him. Kind eyes, tired but kind, a small scar through his eyebrow. Thank you. You don't have to thank me for basic decency, Sophia, but you're welcome anyway. I stayed that night, and the next, and the one after that. The bad coffee became our routine. Every morning I'd have it ready when he got home from his shift. Rough night? I asked on day 5, watching him scrub his hands longer than usual. Lost a dog, hit by a car. Owner was a kid, maybe 16. He dried his hands, shoulders tight. Had to tell her we did everything we could. I slid toast across the counter. Eat something. He looked at the toast, then at me. You don't have to take care of me. I know, but you took care of me, and it's just toast. The corner of his mouth twitched. Almost a smile. Bailey gave you those eyes earlier that clearly communicated I'm not feeding myself enough. Bailey's a tattletale. We ate in comfortable quiet. With Tyler, silence meant something was wrong. With Ethan, silence just meant we were both tired, and that was okay. My sister called that afternoon. I was on Ethan's back porch, sketchbook in my lap, the one he'd bought me 3 days in without asking. Soph? I got your text. Are you okay? I'm okay. I'm staying with my neighbor. He's really nice, Em. Your neighbor? You don't even know this guy. I know, but Tyler doesn't know where I am, and I need time to think. You need to leave him officially. Come stay with me in Salem. Soon, I promised. I just need a little more time. When Ethan got home that evening, I was in the garden. He'd mentioned wanting to fix the flower beds. I'd spent the afternoon weeding. He stood at the back door, coffee mug in hand. You didn't have to do that. I know. I sat back on my heels, dirt under my nails. But it needed doing. He came down the steps, crouched beside me. You know plants? My mom had a garden before she died. She used to say getting your hands in the dirt was the best therapy. Smart woman. We worked together as the sun set. He moved carefully, deliberately, patient with plants the way I imagined he was with scared animals. Ethan, why are you being so nice to me? He paused, looked over. What do you mean? I showed up at your door at midnight. You just let me in, let me stay, bought me a sketchbook. You don't even know me. He set down the hedge trimmers. My dad left when I was 8, just walked out and never came back. My mom spent years blaming herself. I used to hear her crying at night, and I couldn't fix it. He pulled off his gloves. So when someone shows up scared, needing help, I'm not going to turn them away. Plus, Bailey likes you, and she's an excellent judge of character. Something in my chest loosened. Bailey's a very good dog. That night, I drew for the first time in months. Simple sketches, Bailey sleeping, the kitchen table, Ethan's truck. Tyler used to call my drawing navel-gazing. I'd stopped drawing for pleasure around month 30 of our relationship. Ethan found me at the kitchen table around 1 a.m., pencil moving across paper. Can't sleep? He filled a glass with water. I always get up around now anyway, old habit from night shifts. He sat across from me, didn't ask to see what I was drawing, just kept me company. Can I ask you something? Sure. Why do you work nights? Pays more, and I like the pace. Emergencies, you fix what you can, you lose what you can't. No messy feelings, just action. He stopped. Sounds weird when I say it out loud. No, it makes sense. Feelings are complicated. Blood and bones are straightforward. Exactly. Bailey wandered in, settled at my feet with a sigh. What are you drawing? He asked. I turned the sketchbook around. His hands, rough, scarred, competent. He studied it. That's really good, Sophia. Thanks. He meant it. Tyler's an idiot if he didn't see that. Something warm bloomed in my chest. Yeah, well, Tyler saw things his own way. His loss, Ethan said, quietly. Our eyes met. The kitchen light was soft. My heart did something complicated. Ethan cleared his throat, looked away first. I should try to sleep. Early shift tomorrow. Okay. He stood, paused. Sophia, I'm glad you knocked. Me too. By day 12, I'd stopped checking the window for Tyler's truck. By day 14, I laughed at one of Ethan's terrible jokes, really laughed. By day 16, I realized I was in trouble. The little things, the post-it notes on the coffee pot, added vanilla, you're welcome, the way he'd ask what I wanted for dinner and actually wait for my answer, the way he'd fix the porch light because he noticed I hesitated at the door when it was dark. With Tyler, I'd made myself smaller. With Ethan, I was starting to take up space again. You're staring, he said one morning, catching me watching him cook eggs. You asked what I wanted for breakfast, and then you made it. My voice sounded too emotional. Tyler never asked. He'd just make whatever and get annoyed if I didn't eat it. His jaw tightened. That's a really low bar. I know, but I forgot asking was even an option. I forgot what I actually liked, who I am when someone's not telling me I'm doing everything wrong. He moved closer. You're not doing anything wrong. You never were. I don't know that. No. Firm but gentle. I know you ran barefoot because you were scared. I know you flinch when I move too fast. I know you apologize for things that don't need apologizing. His voice softened. That's not because you did something wrong. That's because someone made you believe you were always wrong. My eyes burned. Ethan, you don't have to say anything. Just believe me when I tell you you're okay. He turned back to the eggs. And eat breakfast. I made it how you like it. That afternoon, while he slept, I called a divorce lawyer. Emma called again that evening. Soph, it's been 2 weeks. You can't hide at your neighbor's forever. I'm not hiding. I'm figuring things out. Have you even talked to Tyler? He's texted, says he's sorry, that he's in therapy, that he wants to talk. Do you believe him? I watched Ethan through the window, throwing a ball for Bailey. It doesn't matter. I can't go back. Good. So come to Salem. Start over. I will. Soon. I just need a little more time. The truth was, I wasn't ready to leave. Not the house, not the neighborhood, not the person who'd made me remember what safety felt like. That night, Ethan grilled burgers. We ate on the back porch, Bailey begging, the May air finally warm. Can I ask you something personal? I said. Shoot. Why aren't you with anyone? He stopped mid-bite. That's pretty personal. You've seen me at my worst. I think we're past small talk. Fair point. He set down his burger. I was engaged 4 years ago. Sarah. Together 5 years. Then she got pregnant. We were excited. And then at 20 weeks, something went wrong. Ethan. She miscarried. It broke something in both of us. She wanted to try again immediately. I wanted to wait. We couldn't find middle ground. She said I was shutting her out. I said she was rushing past our grief. 6 months later, she left. He picked at his beer label. She's married now, has a kid. I'm happy for her. But after that, I couldn't do vulnerability again. The risk of losing something. So you work nights and come home to Bailey and don't let anyone close. Basically. He looked at me. Until someone knocks at midnight. The air between us felt charged. I should probably deal with my own life before I complicate yours, I said quietly. Probably. He didn't look away. But you haven't been a complication. You've been here, present, real, and that's been really nice. On day 17, Tyler showed up. I was in the garden. Ethan was at work. I didn't hear the truck until it was in the driveway. Tyler got out. My body remembered before my mind caught up. That familiar stomach clench. He looked rough, unshaven. Sophia, Jesus, I've been trying to reach you. I stood. Tyler, you need to go. I'm not here to fight. I want to talk. He came closer. Bailey started barking inside. Can you call off the dog? No, you need to leave. Babe, it's been 2 weeks. I'm in therapy, dealing with my anger. I want you to come home. We're not working anything out. I called a lawyer. I'm filing for divorce. His face changed, anger flashing. You're being ridiculous. I made one mistake. It wasn't one mistake. It was 3 years of walking on eggshells, 3 years of being told I was too sensitive, too dramatic. My voice shook, but stayed loud. I'm done. So you're staying here, playing house with some random guy? I'm figuring out who I am without someone telling me I'm doing it wrong. This is bullshit. He took another step. Bailey's barking got frantic. You're my wife. On paper, not in any way that matters. His jaw clenched. That look I knew. You're making a huge mistake. The mistake was staying as long as I did. The front door opened. Ethan stood there in scrubs, Bailey pushing past him. Time to go. Tyler looked between us. This is between me and my wife. She told you to leave, so leave. This isn't your business. She's staying in my house. That makes it my business. Ethan came down the steps. Not aggressive, just present. Go home, Tyler. For a long moment, nobody moved. Finally, Tyler laughed, bitter, mean. Whatever, enjoy my sloppy seconds. He left. The truck peeled out. I stood shaking. Bailey pressed against my legs. You okay? Ethan asked. I've never stood up to him before, not like that. You did good. In his kitchen, I fell apart. I spent 3 years apologizing, making myself smaller, and he just told me I was being ridiculous. Ethan sat beside me. It mattered, all of it, and you weren't the problem. His voice was rough. I've watched you for 17 days, seen you draw and laugh and bring yourself back to life. You're thoughtful and talented and stronger than you think. If he couldn't see that, that's his failure. I looked at him, at this man who'd taken me in, given me space to heal, never asked for anything in return. You should go to Salem, quietly. Get away completely. File paperwork, start fresh. You're right. I usually am. He tried to smile. But I'm going to miss the company. Just the company? He met my eyes, held them. No, not just the company. I should go soon, do this the right way, stand on my own before I can... I stopped. Before you can... What? Before I can be sure of anything. He nodded, understanding, disappointed. When? Few days. But we both knew time wouldn't make leaving easier. It would just make it hurt more. I left on a Thursday. Emma drove down to help me pack while Tyler was at work. Ethan stood guard. The house looked smaller than I remembered, emptier. The hole in the wall was still there, unfixed. We packed quickly. Clothes, laptop, art supplies. I didn't take much, just wanted out. Thank you, I said to Ethan when we were done, standing in his driveway. For everything. For the coffee, the garden, for... Sophia, he stopped me. You don't have to thank me. I do. You saved me. You saved yourself. I just gave you a place to do it. Bailey whined from the porch. I should go. I'll text when I get there. Please do. I started toward the car, stopped, turned back. Ethan, I'm not running from you. I'm running toward figuring out who I am, and I need to do that alone first. I know. Doesn't make it easier. No, it doesn't. I got in the car. As we pulled away, I watched him in the mirror, standing in the driveway, Bailey at his side, getting smaller until the street turned. So, Emma said, we're not talking about the fact that you're in love with your neighbor? It's complicated. Seems simple to me. I can't go from one relationship to another without figuring out who I am first. I need to know I'm okay alone before I can be okay with someone. I pressed my forehead to the window. I need to do this right. And if he doesn't wait? My chest ached. Then he doesn't wait. But it didn't feel okay. Salem was quiet, rainy. Emma's apartment was tiny but comfortable. I filed divorce papers. Tyler didn't contest. I started therapy, found a therapist who specialized in emotional abuse, learned terms like gaslighting and reactive abuse, started believing it wasn't my fault. I took on more work, built my portfolio, raised my rates, discovered I was good when I wasn't second-guessing myself constantly. I drew every day, filled 3 sketchbooks in 2 months, and I missed Ethan, missed the terrible coffee, Bailey's weight at my feet, the way safety felt in his kitchen at 1 a.m. We texted, short messages. Divorce is final. Bailey misses you. Garden looks good. Never what we actually wanted to say. 3 months passed. Emma kept asking when I'd visit. I'm not ready. When will you be? When I'm sure. Sure of what? Sure I wanted him for the right reasons. Sure I wasn't trading one dependency for another. Sure I could stand on my own and still choose to stand next to him. The answer came on a Tuesday in October. My phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Sophia? Dr. Martinez from Mountain View Emergency Vet. Ethan's in the hospital. Car accident. He's okay. Broken ribs, concussion, but he was asking for you. The world tilted. Which hospital? The drive took 3.5 hours. I barely remembered it. His room was on the 3rd floor. Bailey was curled in the chair beside his bed. He was asleep, bruised, bandaged. I must have made a sound because his eyes opened. Sophia? Hi. I came closer. You scared me. Sorry. Guy ran a red light. I'm okay. You look terrible. Thanks. He tried to smile, winced. You came. Of course I came. You're my emergency contact. Couldn't think of anyone better. He reached for my hand, stopped. Is this okay? I closed the distance, lacing fingers through his. Yeah. We sat in silence. His thumb traced circles on my palm. I've thought about calling you so many times, but I figured you needed space. I did. I do. I did. I squeezed his hand. Ethan, I left because I needed to know I could stand alone, that I wasn't running from Tyler to you, that I could be whole without someone holding me together. And I can. I am. I've been in therapy, working, building a life. I'm okay on my own. I met his eyes. But I don't want to be alone. Not when being with you feels like coming home. His breath caught. Sophia, I came back because I wanted to see you, not because I needed saving. Because for 3 months, every good thing that happened, I wanted to tell you. Every time I drew something, I wondered what you'd think. Every terrible coffee I had, I missed yours. My voice cracked. I want you, if you still want me. He pulled me closer, gentle, careful of his ribs. I never stopped wanting you. From the moment you showed up at my door, you fit. You left, and I understood why, but it didn't make missing you easier. So, what now? Now you kiss me, unless I'm reading this wrong. I kissed him, soft and careful and full of 3 months of wanting. His hand cupped my face, the same gesture from that first night, but different now. A beginning instead of shelter. When we pulled apart, he was smiling. I've wanted to do that for a very long time. Since when? Since you drew my hands at 1 a.m., since you laughed at my jokes, since I realized terrible coffee was better with you there. He kissed me again. Since always. You're on morphine. You might change your mind. Not possible. Ask me tomorrow, next week, 6 months from now. I might. Good. Now tell me everything. So I did. And he listened, and Bailey curled at my feet, and the missing piece slid into place. They kept Ethan 2 days. I didn't leave except to take Bailey home. When he was discharged, I drove him to our street. Tyler's house had a for sale sign. Welcome home, I said. Are you staying? If you want me to. I want you to. So I stayed. Not in the guest room, not as someone running, but as someone choosing to be there. Emma helped me move from Salem. We set up my desk in the spare room, my office now, with good light. My art supplies on shelves, my mug in the cabinet. "You're really doing this," Emma said. "Moving in." "Yeah." "And you're sure?" 3 months ago, I needed to be alone. Now I'm choosing not to be. There's a difference. I'm not giving up myself. I'm bringing myself with me. She hugged me. "Okay, just keep being this Sophia, the one who knows what she wants." "I promise." Ethan healed slowly. I learned to help without hovering. He learned to accept help, to admit when he hurt, to let me care for him. We learned each other's rhythms, his night shifts and my schedule. Coffee in the morning, dinner when he got home, quiet hours working side by side. The garden grew. Bailey got spoiled. The house became ours. One morning, about a month after I'd moved back, I woke to Ethan watching me. "That's creepy," I mumbled. "You snore." "I do not." "A little bit. It's cute." He kissed my forehead. "I got home an hour ago. Couldn't sleep. Kept thinking about how different everything is from a year ago." "Good different?" "The best different." He tilted my chin up. "That night you knocked, I was at rock bottom, working myself to death, convinced I was better off alone. Then you showed up, terrified and barefoot, and everything changed. I didn't mean to upend your life, but you did, and I'm grateful. You taught me that being alone and being safe aren't the same thing, that opening your door doesn't mean losing yourself, that love is about seeing someone completely and choosing to stay." His voice softened. "You're brave, Sophia. You left someone who hurt you, rebuilt yourself alone, then came back because you wanted to, not because you had to." "I'm still scared sometimes." "Being scared doesn't make you weak. Running anyway makes you brave. And I love you. I probably loved you at 1 a.m. over terrible coffee, but I definitely love you now." "I love you too. You make me feel safe, real, seen." "Good, because you are all those things." Bailey snored at the foot of the bed. Sun filled the room. Everything felt right. 6 months later, the garden was in full bloom. Ethan had built me a studio in the backyard where I could work. My client list had grown, real jobs with good pay from people who valued my work. The divorce was finalized months ago. Tyler had moved to Seattle. I rarely thought about him except in therapy, where I was still processing, still healing, but getting better. On a Saturday in April, exactly 1 year from the night I knocked, Ethan made pancakes. "These are burnt," I said. "That's character. That's carbon." He laughed. "You love my cooking." "I tolerate your cooking because I love you." "I'll take it." "Hey, Sophia." "Hmm?" "I'm glad you knocked." I looked at him, this man who'd opened his door without hesitation, who'd given me space to heal, who'd chosen me every single day. "Me too. Best decision I ever made." "Second best. Coming back was the best." "Okay, that's fair." Bailey barked from the yard. The morning was warm, the coffee was terrible, the pancakes were burnt, and I'd never been happier. Later, unpacking old boxes, I found sketchbooks from the Tyler years. The drawings were timid, apologetic, small. I compared them to my current work. Bold lines, confident strokes, full pages. Emma found me on the floor, surrounded by old sketches. "You okay?" "Just looking at who I used to be." I held up an old drawing. "It's hard to believe I let myself become that small." "You weren't small, you were surviving." He sat beside me. "And look at you now." He gestured at my desk, full of completed works. "You bloomed. You just needed the right conditions." "Are you comparing me to a plant?" "Yes, a very stubborn, beautiful plant who needed good soil and room to grow. And I'm honored to be your garden." "That's the cheesiest thing you've ever said." "I know, but you're smiling." I was. "I love you." "Love you too." Now, Taman, Bailey needs a walk, and you promised to help me plant those tomatoes. I took his hand, rough, scarred, safe, and let him pull me up. We walked into the garden, into the life we'd built, into the future that started the night I knocked, and he said, "Come on in." And I'd been coming home ever since.